Hi there, I'm Mulaney Gunning, your Treasure Coast real estate guide. And if you're a retiree or a pre-retiree thinking about switching things up and swapping the snow and the hustle and bustle of New York, and you're looking for sunshine in a slower place in Florida, today we are going to dive into the big questions. Is it worth it? We're going to compare the cost of living. We're going to talk about what people are asking the most and help you decide if moving to Florida makes sense for your retirement or second home lifestyle. Let's get started. Many New Yorkers, especially retirees or those about to retire, are looking at Florida and saying, could I do it? Could I live there full time? Could I live there part time? Of course, the appeal is semi-obvious: warm weather, no state income tax, potential cost of living savings, and an outdoor lifestyle. But of course, there are trade-offs. The rest of this video, we're going to be highlighting some of the most Googled questions for people in your shoes and compare real numbers between New York and Florida. So let's do a cost of living comparison. And let's talk numbers. According to the cost of living data, New York State is about 15% more expensive than Florida overall for the same standard of living. In major comparisons, the difference is even larger. For example, moving from New York to Orlando, Florida shows a cost of living drop roughly 38%. So let's break it down. Housing trends tend to be much more affordable in many Florida markets than the New York metro areas. Florida has no state income tax, which is certainly going to help retirees, especially if you have pensions, Social Security, or investment income. However, Florida still have costs that you want to watch: homeowners insurance, flood insurance, hurricanes, healthcare access in some areas, and of course your utilities, which is your AC use. So you have to have caution, and it is warranted. Thinking about relocating to Florida's Treasure Coast, and remember, that does include cities like Port St. Lucie, Stuart, Hobe Sound, and even down to the Jupiter and Tequesta area, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, and this is meant to save you hours of research, and I have it linked down below. From top employers to the best hospitals and boatloads of additional information that you need to know before making your move. The best part is it's 100% free. You heard me right, it's 100% free. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. I hope that helps. The bottom line though, if you're coming from a high cost New York scenario, Florida can stretch your retirement dollars much further, but it is not automatic. Location within Florida, your home size, amenities, and lifestyle choices matter. So let's talk about the 5 most Googled questions from retirees or pre-retirees with answers that will help you. So the first question is, how much will my cost of living drop if I move from New York to Florida? And as we saw, broad state average 15% cheaper in Florida for high-cost New York metro areas, with certain Florida markets were at 30 to 40% lower. But your savings are going to depend a lot on what you currently pay in New York, home, taxes, lifestyle, and what you're moving to in Florida, size of the home, the amenities, and of course the location. Second Googled question is, what are the tax advantages or disadvantages of moving to Florida from New York in retirement? Florida has no state income tax, good for retirement income, Social Security for most situations, and pensions. New York State and often local income taxes are generally higher overall for your tax burden. Property taxes, homeowners insurance, and other costs that still exist in Florida. Tax advantage doesn't mean free. The third most Googled question is, can I retire early or stretch my savings by moving to Florida? Yes, you could reduce your cost of living meaningfully if your lifestyle fits. If your New York costs are high, housing, taxes, and utilities, then shifting to a lower cost area plus tax advantages will extend your savings. But if you pick a prime Florida location with high home cost and insurance, the benefit would shrink. And now for the question of the day. For those of you who are considering a move to Florida's Treasure Coast, and remember that includes Port St. Lucie, Stuart, Hobe Sound, and even all the way down to the Jupiter and Tequesta area, where are you moving from, and what is the main reason that you are considering leaving your city or town? I'm truly curious. Make sure to let me know down below. I want to hear what you have to say. If you have any questions or thoughts, you can leave those down below, or better yet, you can shoot me a text, give me a phone call, or shoot me an email. My information is on the pop-up screen. Number 4 Google question. What should I know about healthcare, insurance, and climate risks, meaning hurricanes and floods, that affect the cost of living in Florida? Healthcare access and good medical care is vital for our retirees. Even if Medicare covers you, some local hospitals and clinics may be better than others. Gotta do your research. Our insurance and climate risk. Florida has hurricane risks and flood zones, which can raise homeowners and flood insurance, and these additional costs should be in your budget. And as you're shopping, you're going to want to work with a good expert in the area that can show you which areas are in flood zones, which areas are better for insurance, and making sure you're shopping these costs as you're looking at homes so you don't fall in love with something and then go into sticker shock. Utilities and maintenance, more AC use, of course, no gas use typically. Potential storm prep costs may increase what you spend. And remember, you always know when a hurricane is coming. We get lots of notice, lots of time to prepare. And when you've lived here long enough, you don't get worried unless the Waffle House shuts down. So while everyday costs may drop, risks, premiums, and lifestyle differences are gonna make a difference. Hey friends, it's Mulaney Gunning, and as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love even more. And that's helping families and people from all across the United States make the move to Florida's Treasure Coast. I've guided countless families to make the move, so whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen and linked in the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. I look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Florida's Treasure Coast. Number 5, most Googled question, is the Florida lifestyle right for me? Staying in New York versus moving to Florida or moving seasonally. Of course, we have lifestyle factors, year-round, warm weather, can't speak enough about it. Outdoor recreation, slower pace of life in some areas is a big plus for many. Of course, some of your trade-offs, if you love seasons, snow skiing, big city culture, you might miss New York's vibe. The pace that people work down here is entirely different than it is in New York. I can 100% attest to that. And the Dunkin' Donuts are not typically open before 6 here. Also, moving permanently versus seasonally is a different decision. Some move to Florida part-time as snowbirds and some full-time. Each has a different tax and residency implication. To have permanent residency in Florida, you need to live here 6 months and 1 day, and you get all the benefits of living in Florida. Very common. As your real estate guide here on the Treasure Coast area, I always guide my clients to evaluate whether Florida fits their vision of their retirement and what it all means. We break it all down. We do all of the things. We talk about property taxes, what they mean, homeowners insurance, what that means, utility costs, running a pool because it is year-round. All of the things we go over in great detail before you make your final decision. From my vantage point, here on Florida's Treasure Coast, I see retirees and pre-retirees choosing smaller coastal towns rather than mega resort cities because it offers the best balance of lifestyle and affordability. And again, some of those tips when you are looking at your Florida home, we're gonna check those insurance rates ahead of time. You're gonna check for hurricane risks and flood zone risks. We're gonna investigate the property taxes and home maintenance expectations. And we're gonna think about community amenities and healthcare proximity. And you're gonna have to ask yourself, am I gonna be happy here 365 days a year or only part of the year? If you're relocating from New York, you might want to consider decluttering and downsizing. Your budget can go further, but you still want quality and a good fit. So a quick recap, if you're moving from New York to Florida, it can be an excellent move for retirees or people thinking about retiring, especially if your New York costs are high and you pick the right Florida location. But you must do your homework, look at the taxes, look at the insurance, the lifestyle and local healthcare. The Sunbelt lifestyle might allow you to move sooner, live better, and stretch your savings smartly. If you're thinking about making the move or buying a seasonal or second home here in Florida, I'd love to help you explore the options here on the Treasure Coast. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you'll be notified for my next video. I'm Mulaney Gunning, your Treasure Coast real estate guide, and we'll see you on the next home tour.